The beginning of a new year or the start of a 90-day run is always a special moment. It feels like a reset, a clean page, a chance to do things a little more intentionally than before. And every January or every beginning, I see the same pattern. People feel motivated, they feel inspired, they want change. And that's a good thing. The question is not if you have goals. The question is how you set them. That's what I want to talk about today. Just a simple recommendation that can help you to start with more clarity and direction. Some of you might remember this. I shared this exact recommendation last year at the beginning of the year. And honestly, the feedback was overwhelming. A lot of people told me it helped them focus, it helped them simplify their thinking, it helped them actually follow through. That's why I believe this is the perfect moment to repeat it, because the start of the year or the start of a run is not about doing more, it's about doing things with consistency. Most goals fail for simple reasons. It's not lack of desire. Most people generally want better results, better health, or more freedom in their lives. The issue is that these goals stay only in their thoughts. They are never shaped into something concrete. When someone says, I want to grow, or I want to be healthier, it sounds positive, but it remains undefined. And the mind cannot work with undefined ideas. If a goal is not written down, clearly described and connected to a next step, it has no real presence in daily life. It says something you think about occasionally, not something that actively guides you through decisions. That's where progress usually breaks down. Clarity gives your mind direction. Direction makes choices easier. And when choices are easier, action happens more naturally. This is why structure matters so much. Not to restrict you, but to give your goals a form that allows them to move from intention into action. Quick side note. If you're serious about achieving your goals in network marketing, my book, Moonshot, gives you a clear framework for building structure, consistency, and the right mindset in this profession. It's designed to support every goal you set, from personal growth to recruiting and long-term results. You'll find the link below. Alright, let's get back to today's topic. What I want to share with you today is the SMART method. Don't worry, it's just an easy tool you can use. By the way, I use it regularly. You don't have to apply it to everything. Even using it for one important goal can make a big difference. So let's move to the SMART method. Open your Notes app or grab a piece of paper with a nice pen. Let me show you SMART with one easy network marketing example you can actually do this week. Here is the goal. Book more calls, but we are going to make it SMART, letter by letter. S stands for specific. Not I want to grow my business. Not vague. Specific sounds like I'm going to book calls for my business opportunity. So my goal becomes I will book 5 short 15-minute calls. M stands for measurable. If you can't count it, you can't improve it. So I add the numbers. I will book 5 calls by sending 40 invites. Now I can measure invites sent and calls booked. Simple. A for achievable. This is where most people lie to themselves and then quit. So I ask, can I realistically send 40 invites with my schedule? Yes, because that's 8 invites a day for 5 days. That's achievable, even with work, family, and everything. R stands for relevant. This goal must connect to what actually pays you. Booking calls is relevant because calls create customers or partners. So I say these calls are to present my offer and enroll at least one new customer or partner. Now it's tied to income activities, not busy work. T for time bound. No deadline means someday, and someday never comes. So I lock it in. I will do this from Monday to Friday, and by Friday 7 p.m. I will have 5 calls booked. So the full SMART goal sounds like this. From Monday to Friday, I will send 8 invites per day, 40 total, to book 5 15-minute calls, and by Friday 7 p.m. I'll have them scheduled because those calls lead directly to enrolling at least one new customer or partner. That's smart. One goal, clear numbers, realistic action, a deadline, and it's directly connected to results. When you put all of this together, something interesting happens. Your goal stops being a wish. It becomes a reference point. You don't have to think every day what to do. You already decided. That saves energy, and energy is one of your most valuable resources. Again, this is just a recommendation. You don't need 10 goals. You don't need a perfect plan. Even one smart goal can change how your year feels. Clear, grounded, intentional. If you're stepping into 2026 and asking yourself where to begin, clarity is a very good place to start. When your goals have a clear structure, your mind knows what to focus on instead of jumping in all directions. I shared this approach last year as well, and many people told me it helped them bring order into their thinking and their actions. That's why I felt it was the right moment to come back to it now. Often, real progress doesn't come from complicated strategies, but from simple principles we actually take the time to apply. Thank you for spending this time with me. If this video helped you or gave you a new perspective, feel free to like it and subscribe to the channel. Share it with someone who wants to start this year or the next 90-day run with more intention and less noise. I'll see you in the next video. Ciao.